right, today we're going to do some vertical hooping. This is a terrific ab workout and a great way to add a little bit of challenge to your waist hooping. First, I will show you what vertical hooping looks like, and then we'll break it down. Vertical hooping is going to happen in two different directions, one upward facing, also called sky, and one downward facing, also called earth. I'm going to show you both of them from the side, and I'm going to start with sky. Okay, and earth. Okay, what am I doing? First, for the upward facing version, sky. The first thing I'm doing is I'm finding bounce in my knees and my quads because I am going to be propelling the hoop upward with that bounce in my legs. Simultaneously, as the hoop passes over my stomach, I am going to give the hoop a good strong push up. But most of the strength of that push is coming from the bounce in my knees. I talk about starting this off in class. I talk about aiming your belly button to where the ceiling meets the top of the wall, or if you're outside, just aim at someplace kind of diagonal and high, and that is going to help get your body into position to be sending the hoop upward. As you start to lean back, you're finding kind of that verticality in the upward facing position. The hoop is actually going to be a bit above your belly button, whereas when you're regular waist hooping, the hoop is more or less going right over your belly button. When I am in sky position, the hoop is going to be in the front of me. It's higher than my belly button. It is kind of below my lower ribs. If you have trouble with that one, a lot of times people find that they are actually doing their push opposite, whereas you want to be pushing when the hoop is against your belly, right? Because you want to be propelling that hoop up. So you're pushing it when it's against your belly with that push coming from your knees. Sometimes people find themselves pushing it when it's against their back. So it's like they're finishing their knee push by pushing down at the back of the hoop. So that is counterproductive. If you're having trouble with it, check in on your body push and see if you're pushing with your belly or if you're pushing with your back. If you're in the upward facing position, you definitely want that push to be when the hoop is against your belly. All right. With the downward facing one, there are two ways to get there. You can either start with the hoop around your waist and start finding that bounce in your knees. As you start finding that bounce, you're going to start bending over, and the hoop is going to get more and more vertical as you lower your back, as you get more of that bend to your body. Again, the bounce is very much in your knees and in your quads. The other way to get there is to whoops, that was the same way. The other way to get there is to start leaning over, be in a bent over position with the hoop just slightly higher than the back of your waist on your back. Again, find that bounce in your knees, give the hoop a spin, and find it that way. Little bit of troubleshooting. In addition to doing your push opposite where the hoop is, which also happens in the downward facing position, another thing is sometimes folks find that their hoop goes really wonky. So you might be in the upward facing position and find that your hoop is really diagonal. It's maybe at your upper hips on one side, but it's more like at your lower ribs on the other. That's because you are getting away from that necessary up and down motion, which is really just kind of a variation on the front to back motion that we use in forward stance of waist hooping, and adding some side to side hip moves. If your hoop is going wonky, say it's going like this up your body as you're bent over in the sky upward facing position, that's because the hip on the upward side is pushing harder. You want to try and get that side to side, any kind of rotational movement of your waist out of that so that it is just an up and down motion. That's exactly the same with downward facing. The cleaner you are doing an up and down move, the more your hips are simply going up and down. It's not bringing any kind of twist into it by moving your hips from side to side. This move takes a fair amount of work to develop stamina with, and so be patient with yourself. It is a terrific workout. Try it in both directions like everything. It's going to be more challenging, almost certainly, in your non-dominant direction, but the payoff is great because it is an incredibly strong abdominal workout, and it's just a lot of fun. So good luck with your vertical hooping.